Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my most important aspects in my life. It's my bullet journal. This is a Moleskine. It's a A5. It's a regular size of like a 8x5 by 11, 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I just like having more space to be able to write, and more specifically when I'm creating my monthly spreads, I like having the space, as you can see, to fill out all of my trackers. I feel like it makes everything super visible and easy to see. So I'm just showing you what November's trackers looked like. I was really enjoying using a habit tracker that was tracking everything on the left-hand side that you can see, from my exercise to specific foods that I was eating. This is my business tracker, and there were a couple of things that I wanted to change this time around for the month of December. So that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to use the foundation of this and use that for December. So if you haven't known already, but I'm super into tarot, and if you haven't checked out some of my pick a card readings, definitely do so. But I love using it in my everyday life, my everyday practice. It's a really great way for me to be present. It's a form of meditation, and it's also a great way for me to stay, active with my spirituality in general. So I am picking a few cards today to use as inspiration for the intention that I plan on setting for December. So we've got the Ten of Swords as our first card. The Lovers in the reverse as our second. And then finally the High Priestess. So I'm going to take a minute here to kind of journal out my thoughts and how I'm feeling with these cards. And then we'll move right into the template creation. The end of a chapter, year, and decade. No longer feeling shackled and stuck in place with negative thought patterns and limiting beliefs. December is the month of release. The Lovers reversed, still some resistance, opening up with other people, and resistance to potentials, but I certainly feel much closer to it than before. I can unlock it, though, through love for myself and following my inner compass. The High Priestess, the Oracle, the Seer, she guides the path and provides the light in the darkness. My job is to embrace the darkness and discover what lessons it teaches me. Okay, so we're going to jump immediately in with the month spread. So I'm just jotting down December. I counted down 3 box widths, and then from the inside of each of the ends of the pages, I counted in 1 square's worth. And I had to do that because when I counted the number of squares lengthwise across the piece of paper, I didn't have enough to evenly make the right measurements for each of the days of the month. So you can see here I'm actually counting out the squares because I had them alternating. So Monday got 7 squares in width, Tuesday got 6, Wednesday 7, so on and so forth, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. And then counting down, I got to just count down 5 for each of the weeks. So that worked great. I'm not really like too particular on rulers because I'm just trying to get it done. I mean, you guys can see that I'm clearly trying to be as minimalistic as possible and as quick and intentional, because I usually just like to use this as like a snapshot of my month. I don't really want to spend too much time um, making things look beautiful. Even though I do consider myself, artistic, it's just not really something that I want to be spending much time on unless I'm using it as a creative outlet. Yeah, so now I'm putting in the days. I just pulled out my iPad too because I was going to look up the astrological calendar for the month of December. One of the practices that I'm working on incorporating more into my life is astrology, especially because it has such a huge relationship with the tarot in general. There's a huge crossing of the symbolism. And so I figure the more astrology I can learn over time, only strengthens me. Also, I really am not a big believer in coincidences. I completely believe in the concept of synchronicities and attracting, like magnetic frequencies and things of that sort. So it's just really nice for me to be able to see in a month's view kind of like different things that I can expect throughout the month, where different planets are going to end up. And I feel like it's just a really awesome way for me to kind of get an understanding on where the energy is going to be during the day, but also it helps me use it as a tool and say things like, okay, well, how can I best utilize, my energy or my mood or however this day is going? It's just yet another way for me to basically collect data and get more of an idea on what's going on in the world. Yeah. So writing out all the different planets when they are in certain signs. I'm going to be adding in moon phases as well. My intention for this month of December is to do more actual readings on moon phases and give you guys that as some more content and like inspiration for the month. So now that that's done, I've moved on to the habit tracker. So super, super simple concept. You just write out the different things that you want to track. So for me, I was wanting to track my exercise routine, the different supplements that I'm taking, what kinds of foods I'm eating. I, in the past, in 2014 in July, I was diagnosed with a thyroid condition that doctors couldn't explain, and so I started to teach myself, the concept of using food as medicine and treating ourselves with, what Mother Nature provides to us. So I find that tracking the different things that I eat and seeing how it correlates with things like my mood, my energy, even my weight, I can start to get more data and collect and understand, again, more information about my body. So you just write out, like I said, on the y-axis, everything that you want to track. And then on the x-axis, the days of the month. So I started on December 2nd because I basically considered the first, a part of the Thanksgiving weekend. That was the 1st of December was on Sunday. So yeah, so you write everything out. And then I'll show you in a little bit here what it looks like when I fill it in. I usually just put a little dot in to show, that I accomplished that task for that specific day. And then I also like to write in the days of the week because I feel like it just is easier to have that visual. I've messed this up a number of times as well, and just go with it. I'm really not that perfect when it comes to this. The intention is just to get it down on paper. So And then this is me writing out the 3 words that I decided were my intention for this month from the tarot cards. So this month's intention words are compassion, intuition, and joy. So those were written out, and then I also added in the habit trackers. So I'm tracking the sleep, mood, stress, flow, my period flow, energy, and study. So the idea is basically just that you make a dot and it correlates with the graph above. Yeah, and so it's super easy at that point to kind of get more of an idea or a picture on what's going on in your body. Okay, so next is jumping into the business tracker. So it's very similar to the layout for the habit tracker. It's the same idea where you want to write down the different things that you want to track. I am super enjoying the experience of sharing things on social media. I feel like it's a really awesome way for me to stay accountable myself with the different goals that I want to accomplish in my life. And also, I'm really enjoying getting to meet new people from different countries, different lifestyles, different cultures. Literally, there's so many people, there's so many of you out there already that are just such amazing people. And, I already feel like my life has been changed just simply by submitting and posting, a few things on the internet. And it's something I want to continue with. I really get a lot of joy and a sense of like creativity out of it, which is really awesome when you are spending majority of your day, your week, in books. So anyway, these are some of the things that I was wanting to track while going through the month of December. There are different things that I do in Instagram, and if you don't already follow me and if you're into my tarot work, you should definitely come and check out the stories in my Instagram because I try to do so. Well, I do almost daily something called tarot teasers, and it's a little like bite-sized pick a card reading, and you just get little mini guidance for the day, the 24 hours, the weekend, whatever it is. So I put a link down below to my Instagram if you're interested in that, and if you want to come pop over and say hi. Super big into chatting with people and starting up a conversation. So yes, so same thing as before, you just write out the days of the month, and then I'm just writing out the business tracker. And so now instead of doing a graph this time around, I'm going to be adding in like little spaces for me to fill in my goals and like different numbers that I'm tracking throughout the month. But first of all, I wanted to write out my intention, again, based off of the tarot. And basically, it was just kind of like a bite-sized version of the journaling that I wrote before. Yeah. Just wanting to come from a place of doing things specifically that bring me joy or that make me feel excited, because it's really important when you're working at a goal all day, every day that's so big that you just have to have some kind of an outlet. You don't want to feel like you're just doing things for the sake of doing it, basically. So now I'm trying, okay, this is where I messed up, but I counted out what I thought was going to be 5 squares each for each week of the month. And I tried like separating them with lines, but you'll see I messed it up. I honestly, I considered like making a new page and starting completely over, but I'm just not that much of a perfectionist. I just knew for the next month I will take it into account, and I'll kind of know what to do better the next time around. So once I got that all messed up, but at least written down, then I started to write out the different things that I wanted to track or have logged for each week. So I wanted to write out a goal for each week. I wanted to write out the commission that I make from the different services that I provide, whether it's through private readings or through, AdSense, or through helping clients with their health and fitness journey, something that I've been working on a lot myself. Kind of been treating myself as like my first patient, so that I can help other people in the future with their lifestyle goals and overall health goals. And then again, focusing on clients, people that I want to keep track of, followers, people that I'm keeping in contact with, and then also video ideas. So then I just kind of started to fill in things. My goal definitely for the rest of this week is completing a Vlogmas video for the rest of the day, or the rest of the week, sorry. And then, so I wrote out some of the video ideas that I wanted to work on this week. I went to Tony Robbins, which was a really amazing experience in October, really? Was it October of this year in Miami? And so I'm planning on creating a video and uploading that, kind of talking about my experience and the review of everything. And then this meditation that I ended up actually learning at Tony Robbins was super amazing, and I've been doing it since coming back. So I wanted to share that with you guys, as well as a really intentional morning routine, as well as kind of like a Sunday prep day. So this final page that I'm adding here is just my finances tracker. When I was living out of the country doing my first 2 years of medical school, I loved this method. If you guys don't know who Dave Ramsey is, he has such a clear-cut and straightforward method of tracking your finances using cash, but also just tracking the income and the outgoing money. And this was one of my really favorite ways to track everything, was to just have it all on one sheet of paper for that month's spread. I felt like I could just really keep track of where all of my money was going, and I would much rather deal with cash than using a debit card, because then I could literally see my money and see, how much I had left, that kind of a thing. So just adding a very simple spread here. It's a date, it's the specific transaction, whether, money came in or it went, and then the remaining balance. So, and my income has changed quite a bit since moving back from the island. A lot of that was because I was a tutor, actually, when I was living abroad, and I don't have that job anymore. So, but along with losing that income, my expenses have also changed. So I don't know how much I will be using this specific spread, but I decided to just leave it there anyway, because it's part of something that I'm used to having in my life. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for all of my spreads. So I'm going to go ahead now and show you guys basically an overview of what everything looks like. So yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and any insight that you might have gained. Thanks you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.